Hey, hey, Talofa Lava. Leotawa Dr. John Peterson here, TE2H Sports Cards, coming at you live and direct, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Well, I hope you're doing well, and we've got a PSA grading reveal today. We got about 58 cards. These are the cards, the first round of cards that are coming back from the South Dakota Collection. If you haven't had a chance to check out those videos from a few months back, South Dakota Collection, I think there's 3 or 4, maybe actually 5 or 6 part series where I go through all the raw cards, and then I think I do a video on the gradables. So this will be a little bit longer video, a little more long form than some of the other videos that I've put out, but I sure do hope you comment, like, and subscribe. I'm going to have some questions specific to some cards that I'm hoping people can give me some insight and some help on. So check it out.
TE2 Edge Sports Cards. Get out.
All right. It's that time. Let's jump into some of the details here. So this order, let's see here. It arrived at PSA. I got my notes here, so you'll have to forgive me while I look away from the camera. We've got 2 different orders. What happened was there was an autographed card in the order originally that got split out into its own separate order. You'll see what that card is shortly. Cards arrived on 6/9/25 and were completed on 8/29/25. It took about 2 3/4 months. It probably would have been closer to 2.5 months. I lost a few days, few weeks. I don't even know how much it was because that autographed card in the order had to go to CRC with PSA. So there were a little auto issue action there. There were some auto issues, but we got them figured out. Grading percentages, I'll share those at the end. Estimated profit versus final profit, I'll share that at the end. And then I'll do a little brief comparative piece between how I did on this order versus how I did on the prior orders, the average so far this year for all the orders that I've done. For those of you that aren't familiar, I typically do a pre-grade estimated value, which I call EV, and a pre-grade estimated profit, which I call EP. So each card gets a pre-grade and a pre-value. And then I crosswalk that once I do the reveal to let folks know how I did. For me, I think, gem rates are incredibly important. I'm not going to lie. But you can still profit and you can still run a good business and do well with a relatively low gem rate. And I think today's going to be a good example of that. So just some details about the order itself. There were 58 cards submitted at $20 a card. The total grading fee was $1,160. The shipping fee was right around $75. The outlay on the cards was incredibly low. I mean, we're talking 75 cents a card. They were part of a broader lot that had about 3,000 cards in it that I picked up for $2,400. So you're not going to find much lower of a buy-in rate than 75 cents per card. So feeling blessed in that regard, give thanks. The total outlay was around $1,280. I had the estimated value at $4,135. And then the estimated profit, or the EP, I had at $2,315. And again, if you haven't seen the video, this is how I calculate that. 4,135 times 0.87. 0.87 is the floor set by the eBay fees. I don't sell for anything less than 0.87. That gets you to 3,600, and then you take 3,600 and subtract 1,280 from that, which gets you to an estimated profit of $2,315. So the idea is that we get as close to the estimated profit as possible. Not too far over, not too far under, but just in that kind of Goldilocks, just right position. So, why don't we take a look at the cards? That's kind of the summary sheet. And let's start off with this first one. This was a min size card. Nothing too valuable, but it is the best cuts. or no, is this best picks? Maybe the refractor's best cuts. Oh, best picks is for the rookies. So I think this came back as min size. No, miscut. Okay, wow. Yeah, I having a hard time understanding that one, but you never know. All right, let's go. All right, first card. This is Golden Touch. And I'm going to have to look aside a little bit because my notes are over here. And with this many cards, it's too hard to remember everything. This is a 96 Skybox Premium Iverson Golden Touch. I had it graded initially as an 8. And we got an 8. So value-wise, we're looking at about $250. This is really the only Golden Touch card I've ever owned. And I think it's pretty awesome. That's an Iverson rookie card there in the Golden Touch. Next card, we've got the 1996 EX2000 Iverson. I had this graded as an 8. I've graded a fair amount of these EX2000s from 96. And this one came back as a 7. So didn't hit the mark on this one. Estimated value was 60. Final value $25. And again, the cost per card was $20.75 excluding the shipping. Next card is a 96 Bowman's Best Picks die cut. Oh, sorry, that's the Best Picks die cut. That was the card that was miscut that I showed you at the beginning. Sorry about that. Next card, 1996 Top Stadium Club Rookie Showcase. Again, this is another Iverson. I pre-graded this as an 8, and it came back as a 9. I thought the hollow foil, you can kind of see there's a little scratching on this. But, yeah, it came back as a 9, so that's about a $60, $70 card in 9. Pretty happy about that. Anytime you can get a 9 on cards that are 30 years old, I think you're doing pretty good. This is the 96 Finest Apprentices Iverson. I had this as a 9 and got the 9. It's right on the money with that one. Not a very valuable card, $40. A lot of these Iversons, you got to hit 10s if you're going to be, getting over that $100 three-figure mark. But like I said in the beginning of the video, it's these small wins and small victories that stack up that can get you where you want to be. This is the 99 Upper Deck Holographics 24/7. I think there's 2 of these in the order, back to back. I had this pre-graded as a 9 and got the 9. Value-wise, we're looking at about $25. So not a huge profit on that, probably closer to about $3. Another Holographics, had this one as a 9 as well, and it also came back as a 9. What an amazing card, though. These cards from the 90s are just, I tell you what, man, they're unparalleled in my opinion. Now we've got a run of the 96 Finest AIs. I had this first one as a 10. Not quite sure why I had this as a 10. Should have put the 10 last. And came back as a 9. $40. Same card as before. Had it as a 9. Came back as a 9. You can tell with the centering on those. It's not a huge surprise. Let's see here. Got to turn this around. All right, another one. Same card. This is the Finest. So these are AI rookie cards. Had that pre-graded as a 9. Got the 9. Last one of the Finest. Pre-graded as a 9. Got the 9. So, oh, I'm sorry. There's one more. I guess there are 4 of these. Well, how many are in here? Yeah, there's 4. Okay, just want to be sure I got that right. Alrighty, next one. Last one. This is the last one, I promise. Got this in a 9 for the pre-grade. And it got a 9. That looked like the most centered one of all four. Next card is another AI. This is the 96 Flair Showcase Row 2. I pre-graded this as a 7. These grade really tough. Usually it's the surface on the front of the card. How did we do? Well, we got an 8. All right. In an 8, this is about a $20 card. So this might be a small loss on this one. But I won't crack it out and resub it because it wouldn't make sense financially. Next card we've got is the Ultra Iverson. I had an 8 on this one. Not a super valuable card again, but came back as an 8. And this is the gold medallion, which I did not realize it was the gold medallion until I got the grade back. So I don't know. I had a few of these. There might even be some in the 5,000 count box that could be gold medallions. I don't know if I've sold them or not. I'll have to take a look. But yeah, in an 8, this is a $100 card rather than like a $20 card. So, and that was the best of them. Usually what happens with these 96 Ultras is there's chipping on the edges. So, all right. Got a couple more AI cards. This is the Topps from 96 50th NBA season or year. I pre-graded this as a 9. Even though that the border in the back looked a little bit off. It came back as an 8. Which, yeah, that's okay. $35. Not worth a ton. Only $60 is a 9 though, so not tons of value to begin with. This is the 96 Upper Deck Rookie Exclusives. I had this as a 10. And in a 10, it's about a $100 card. Never graded this card before. And it came back as a 10. So we have our first gem in 10. And I hit the nail on the head there with that one. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Booyah. All right, next one. Another Iverson. 2 more Iversons left. This is the Hoops Rookie Gold. I had this in a PSA 9. $45 for the pre-grade value or the estimated value. And it got a 9. It's a cool card. Who doesn't love gold, right? That's about $55 card, $50 card. So not too expensive, not too valuable. This is the Star Date. This is out of the Skybox EX2000. Of course, people are super familiar with the Kobe card. I've had a couple of those over the years. I had this pre-graded as an 8, and unfortunately, it came back as a 7. This is the second time I've had this card. The first one, I think, was an 8, and I found it in a collection that I had purchased, 3 summers ago out of Baldwin, Wisconsin. So, yeah, I got a PSA 7. It's about a $50 card. All right, that's the first stack. Let's move to the next stack here. Got these kind of in order. So not too bad. I mean, I feel like I was pretty spot on with most of these. All right, the next group of cards are Vince Carter cards. And if you're familiar with Vince Carter, he's got some amazing photographs. So I don't know. I had to grade a few, even though the value probably isn't totally there. This is a 99 Upper Deck Holographics Hall of Fame, pre-graded as a 9. Came back as a 9. A super cool card. These cards will sell quick. This is the let's see here. 2000 SP Authentic Spectacular. Had this as a 9. Got a 9. So right now I feel like my quote-unquote hit rate is pretty solid. Getting most of these right. This is a 1999 Upper Deck Holographics 24/7. I graded this as a 9 initially. Got a 9. Excuse me. A little dry throat. Same card. Had this one as a 10, I believe. I sure did. Oh, and these first couple cards of these Vince Carter cards are about $25. So pretty much a push on the first 3. Unfortunately, this came back as a 9. So that is a $20 card. So not terrible, not great. Excuse me. This is out of the 98 Tops, Never Compromise. Had this graded as a 9 and got the 8. So that's 2 incorrect pre-grades to final grades in a row, which is not what you want. Every once in a while, you're going to get one wrong, but you want to avoid having 2 or 3 incorrect ones in a row. This is the awesome Upper Deck Holographics. Great cards. I graded this initially as a 9, and it got a 7. So there must have been something on the surface that I missed. I'm guessing it's on the front of the card. I didn't see anything on the back side. Who knows? $20 card. So right now, value-wise for the Carters, we're sitting around, let's see here, 30, 35, 30, 20, 20, 30, 20. Not doing so hot on the Vince Carters here. It's not the kind of insanity we're looking for. This next card is the UD Holographics from 99. I'm sorry, no, this is 99 Finest Heirs to Air. I had this as a 9, and we broke the streak of 3 incorrect pre-grade to final grades. That's a cool card. That's an acetate. That's worth about $20. So right now we're breaking even on these Vince Carters. Next one is the 99 Skybox EX Promo. I had this one as a 9. Got a 9. No, that card's worth $15 and a 9. What a sweet card. That's one of the best $15 cards I think I've ever seen in a slab. Same card. Had this as a 10. Thought this one looked great. Got the 9. Disappointing. Would have been a $100 card in a 10. This is, I think, the second to last Carter. Obviously, the center and the back isn't great. This one is numbered to, let's see here, $2.99. Or no, $9.99. Okay. I had this as a 9, and it came back as a 9. No, I had this as a 10. Shit. Yeah, I had this as a 10. I wonder... Oh, I see it right now. Is that a print line? No. Right there. Kind of hard to tell if that's on the floor or if that's a print line. Tough to say. I don't think it's a print line. So, black border, challenging. I think it was the centering, if you ask me. This doesn't look aligned. So, got a 9, and that is a $15 card. So you might be thinking, geez, Dr. John, you did terrible on the Vince Carters. Well, I did do terrible on the Vince Carters until this one. So this is the Refractor Auto. This is the Bowman's Best Auto Refractor. I got the Auto Only grade, and you can see why. There's a crease or a kind of an indentation here. It's actually I don't know, it's hard to say what exactly that is. It's a wrinkle. It doesn't come through on the front of the card, so I'd call it a wrinkle. Typically, a crease goes all the way through. This is a thicker stock card, so it didn't go all the way through. I chose not to get a grade for the card, a card grade. Probably would have come back as a 5 or a 6, and I'd rather just have it authentic. So I did get the auto graded, and the auto grade I had as a 10. This came back as a 9. So this is a really interesting situation here with this card. I'd love to, what should I do with this? Should I keep it in the authentic Auto 9? It's going to be really challenging to comp this card. I think these refractor autos are relatively difficult to find. I think there's a couple raw ones maybe on eBay. The thing that I don't understand about this is this auto looks... I'm trying to see where is the 9 on this auto? There's maybe a tiny bit of streaking down there, but comparative to what's on eBay, I think these autos look great, or this auto looks great. So I don't know where to value this at. I put $1,000 on this. I talked with 3G Slabs, my good friend who has that channel, 3G Slabs. If you're not familiar, check out that channel. And I guess we kind of landed right around that $1,000 mark. So I had the pre-grade value at 300. I really don't know if it was 300 or not as a raw card. I mean, who knows? It could be a $3,000 card raw. Is it worth more or less in this slab? I don't know. So should I crack this? Should I keep it? Should I put it in the case and see if someone makes an offer on it? I really don't know what to do with this card. But it sure is nice. I like it. And like I said, it's got that crease in the back, so buyer beware on that. But if you're not really worried about the crease and you're into Carter and you're looking for a really nice auto, this might be the card. I thought that this was going to be an auto 10, and I guess I'm not really clear on why it's auto 9. Maybe they were frustrated because this was in the middle of the order. All right, next run we got here is Hakeem. Just a few Hakeem cards. And this card is an 87 Fleer, and it is Hakeem. I had this pre-graded as a 9, and it got a 9. Which is pretty good for these 87 Fleers. He looks so young in that photograph. $40 card. Next card is the 93-94 Top Stadium Club Frequent Flyers First Day issue. I thought this card looked really clean. Like, I didn't see any issue with this card, and I had it as a 10 and came back as a 9, which is okay. I mean, $100 card and a 10, $50 card and a 9, not the end of the world. Next card, we have the 94 Fleer Flare Rejector. Graded this out initially as a 9, and it came back as a 10. So I was super happy with this. These are almost like Metal Universe type cards in terms of the foil design in the front. And yeah, really happy with this one. $160, $170 card and a PSA 10. I think you put a sticker for $180, $190 on this and it sells. So the dream coming through for me. Next card, we've got the 95 Skybox Standouts. I pre-graded this as a 9 and got an 8. $40 card. Yeah, sweet cards. Man, these 90s cards are just, that's where it's at. This is the big man on court. And yeah, pretty cool card. I think this is about a $200 and some card raw. And I had it as an 8. And it came back as an 8. Now I had the pre-grade value at 350, but for some reason I'm seeing on Card Ladder that it's a $190 card. So I don't know where I got that valuation or comp from for the pre, but I'm going to have to double check on this because these are pretty hard to get high grades on, these big men on court. And this one is a little bit, there we go. That looks a little bit better. It's kind of crooked. So, but I put it at 200, 190, 200. I didn't crank it up on the final tally to 350. This is the 96 Flair Showcase Hot Shots. I had this pre-graded as an 8, and it came back as a 8. So yeah, pretty good on this one. Feeling decent. About $150 card. Sorry for the ringing phone in the background. It happens to be my 20th anniversary today, and that is my wife. We've been enjoying the anniversary here today. She's at work and on her way home and just giving me a call, so I will connect with her upon her return. All right, next group, we've got some LeBron James cards. I'm going to put these up here a little bit. We've got the 2004 Ultra. This is a beautiful looking card. I pre-graded it as a 9. and it came back as a 10. This is one of my favorite cards in the entire order. Just, that's an iconic photograph of LeBron. I mean, how many times have you seen him dunk like that? I think it's pretty awesome. So, 185, $200 in a PSA 10. So the PSA 10s are few and far between, but when we get them, they're good. This is the 2004 Fleer Tradition LeBron. Had this as a 9 as well, and came back as a Gem Mint 10. So completing that dunk, right? It would be a reverse dunk. So this is a little bit further on in the motion, the movement. So about $100 card on there, on that one. Got another Fleer Tradition from 2004. This is the blue, pre-grade 9, final grade 9. $30. So not a super ton of value. So you're seeing there aren't a lot of huge cards, a lot of bangers in this order, you know, mostly smaller stuff. Playing a little small ball here with this order. This is the 2007 Topps Stadium Club. Pre-grade was 9. $25 card. This is the LeBron's Diary. I believe this is 2003 Upper Deck. Pre-grade was a 9. Got a 9. So right now at this point, I'm feeling pretty good about accuracy for my pre-grades. This is the rookie exclusive from 2003. Pre-graded as a 9. Got an 8. Unfortunately. About a $40 card. So not a huge dip, though, from the 9. I think the 9's around $70. This was one of the bigger cards in the order. I had this as the 2000 Fleer Tradition Trio. I had this as a 10. In a 10, this is a $300 card, and it came back as a 9, unfortunately. So we go from $300 to $60. Excuse the dog barking in the background. That's Charlie. This is another LeBron James. This is the, let's see here, 2007 Fleer LeBron. Pre-graded this as an 8. Kind of surprised I sent this in at an 8. It would have been $30. And it came back as a 9. So, yeah, I think probably, I don't know, this is probably $20 to $40 card, depending on how you comp it. So, yeah, nice little win. Nothing big. Okay, next we got a run of Jordans. No order would be complete without some Michael Jordan cards being graded. This is the Upper Deck Hard Court. I had this as a 9, and it came back as a 9. So this is a $35 card. This is the Skybox Thunder Base. I had this as a 9, and it got a 9. $60. I believe this is the SPX 96 Hollow View Heroes. I had this as a 7. There was some scratching, I think, on the hollow part of the hologram part of the card, and got a 9. Yeah, pretty excited about that. So I undergraded that by 2 grades. So as a 7, it's a $40 card, and as a 9, it's a $225 card. $215, $225. So that's fantastic. These are also the new PSA slabs. They're very nice. I like these new slabs. They feel a little bit more high-end than the old slabs, in my opinion. They just have kind of a nice feel to them. Just higher class. Yeah. This is the 1989 Kenner starting lineup, otherwise known as the SLU. Had it as an 8, and it came back as an 8. Little off center, and it's got that green print mark on there. But to get this in an 8, pretty happy with that. $100. Glad I sent it in for grading. I was almost going to sell it raw. This is the Golden Season from 96 Topps NBA Stars, Topps Finest. Had this as an 8 and got a 9 on it, which is great. I've gotten this in a 10 before. $50 card and a 9. $400 card and a 10. $400 to $500 card and a 10. Got a lot of these. Unfortunately, these are really hard to find in a quality condition. This is a 94 Upper Deck SP Championship Series. I had this as a 9, and it came back as a 9. It's a $40 card and a 9. In a 10, that's a pretty good card, but you can see how challenging it would be to get this in a high grade, in a gem mint 10 grade. Got a base 93 Stadium Club. Let's see here. I had this as a 9. Came back as a 9, about a $20, $25 card. This is another Jordan silver set. Excuse me. Upper Deck 95. Had this as a 9 and got a 9. So right now we're on a bit of a hot streak here for getting these correctly graded. $140 in a 9. That's a pretty good card. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. 92 Stadium Club, Members Choice. Struggled to get these graded. Yeah, these are hard. These are hard to get in a PSA 10. I had this as a 9 and it came back as an 8. So I've had a bunch of 8s on these. There must be something that I'm missing. I'm guessing it's probably centering. Hard to center that card. This is one of my favorite cards of the order. This is a Topps NBA Stars, so this is also from 96 Finest. It's called Imagine. It's got Jordan and Oscar Robertson on it. I had this as a 9, and it came back as a PSA 9. That's just a really, really cool card. 2 of the all-time greats. I mean, Oscar Robertson's probably a top 5 point guard. So yeah, 9. And that is about a $40, $50 card in 9. Actually, 55. I'm getting down there, almost finished. We've got a Bronze Quantum. This is MJ23 from 99 Upper Deck. Had this as an 8. Got a 6. Ooh. That is the one stinker of the entire order. Overgraded it by 2 grades. I should get punished for that. $10. So this is one of the few definitive money losers in the whole order. In fact, I might crack it out and just sell it raw. This is the SPX 96 Record Breaker. Had this as a 6, and it came back as a 5. There were scratches on it. I think there's a big scratch that goes down the middle of that, if I'm not mistaken. So, but I figured I'd give it a shot. $10 card in a 5. This is the SPX 96 Record Breaker MJ. I had this as a 7. And this one came back as an 8, so I got a win on this one. That's $70. Topps Active Streak. I had this as a 9. I was hoping for a 10, but pre-graded as a 9 and got a 9. It's about a $20, $25 card, so bit of a push on that one. I thought for sure this was going to come back as an 8 just because of the centering and the new standards around centering, but amazingly, I got a 9 on this, which I don't know how that's even possible. $125, $135 card in a PSA 9, even though the centering's not good at all. 2 more cards, both Kobe's. Topps Finest 96, Apprentice, excuse me, I lied. 96 Bowman's Best. This was a really important card for the order. I had it as a 10. I thought it looked really clean. I may crack and resub. Came back as a 9. So it went from $455 to $250. Still a valuable card, but I'm going to have to take another look at this one. I don't know. I mean, if it's $255 as a 9, probably just going to roll and not try and crack and resub it. These new cases are really hard to crack. But that was made up by this one because I had this as an 8, again, the centering, and this one came back as a 9. And that's a difference of 55 to 150. So did good on the 96 Topps rookie Kobe. So overall, I think I did pretty well. I mean, you'll have to let me know what you think. Obviously, I'm biased because I submitted the order. But what do the final totals look like? Let's take a look here. I know this is a lot of writing, but hopefully you can follow along. So again, the estimated value was at $41.35. Estimated profit was at $23.15. The final value was $4,620. Now that includes the Carter auto refractor at $1,000. So, if I don't know, let me know what you think that card is worth. More or less, crack it out, try and sell it raw, try and get another auto grade that's a 10, not sure. I had the final profit at 27.40. So that was 4620 times 0.87. Gets you to 4020 down here, minus the outlay of 1280, which is $2,740 in profit. I had the estimated value delta compared to the final value at 11% plus, meaning I was off by 11%, but in the positive. And the estimated profit delta between the estimated profit delta to the final profit was 18% plus. So I did better than what I thought I was going to do in terms of estimated value and profit. Had 56 cards graded. There was one miscut, and then one that didn't receive an auto grade. That was the Vince Carter. I had 11 cards that were undergraded, which was 20% of the order. I had 28 cards that were graded correctly, which was 50% of the order. And then I had 18 cards which were overgraded, which was about 30%, which is higher than I like. I prefer to be right around 80-20 minimum, 80% correct versus 20% not correct. Correct meaning graded correctly or undergraded. How does that compare with the overall year? Not too bad. Pretty consistent. For the current order, I was 70% versus 30%. And for the year, I'm at 67%, or prior to this, I was at 67% versus 33%. So I beat the averages for quarters 1 and quarter 2. Overall, like I said, the final profit was higher than what the estimated profit was. And for the current year, I'm plus 18% off on the estimated profit versus the final profit. So I'm doing better than, is that right? Is that a plus 18%? I don't know if that's right. I'll see, because I have had the estimated profit at 17,335 on all orders for this year. And we're sitting at 12,580. So, I'm negative 17.5% off between the estimated profit and the total profit, or the final profit, excuse me. But still, up $12,580. You might ask, well, do all these cards sell? And what I can tell you is that for the prior orders that I've done with PSA, everything's gone. Everything has sold either via eBay, card shows, repackers, you kind of name it. So, if all things being equal, this is probably going to be a similar process with this order, and these cards will be gone in a matter of probably 4 to 6 weeks. And we've got the Minnesota Card Show coming up, not this weekend, but the following weekend. And I'm guessing a lot of these $20, $25, $30 to $100 cards will be sold and snapped up really quickly, and very likely before the official show even starts. So, I hope you enjoyed this. It's kind of a long video, but overall, I'm pretty pleased. Like I said, there weren't any huge wins, but we were able to stack up a lot of small victories, small wins, little victories. And overall, I'm pretty happy with the way things turned out. But let me know what you think, and especially let me know what you think about the Vince Carter refractor, the Bowman refractor with the auto, and what I should put on that for a price, or if I should just leave it unpriced. Thanks for watching. I appreciate each of you. You have a blessed evening. Peace out. One love.